Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir I. Qureshi. I'm a broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. I'm your host. Tonight we will talk about first-time home buying tips. Because of market conditions, short of supply, and multiple offers and competitive competing bids, what's happening in the marketplace is very, very important that if you are a first-time home buyer, you prepare yourself. So we're going to talk about tips. The first is about do your homework. Are you ready to buy a home? Do you have savings? Do you have the funds available to you, put a down payment or for closing cost? So you have to talk about the process, buying process. So most important thing is for you as a first-time buyer to understand the buying process of real estate before you begin your journey and you look for the house, or you select certain steps that you have to take. So what is the buying process? How to get the property information, what steps you have to take, and who is the best person who can guide you is a real estate professional. Now, and you also need to collect data, so save time, hassle, and money. If you don't have the information about what you want to do in terms of getting your financial statement, bank statements, getting your pay stubs, getting your credit reports, getting all the information about where you want to buy the property, you don't have all this information, you're going to be creating hassle for yourself and wasting of time. Therefore, best thing is to collect the data, information, and prepare yourself, because this is why that you are ready to make a decision, and then you have to decide what you want to buy and what you're going to buy. And most importantly, how much can you afford? This is why it's very important to collect the data. So it's very common. You can go to city-pro.net. This is our website. You can go to buying and click on the bottom. Is a calculator there, and you can calculate how much you can afford based on your income. You don't need to share information with anyone. You go to our website, go in buying, click the calculator and say affordability. How much can you afford? And you can also look at how much it's going to cost you CMAC if you are putting 10% or less than, you're putting 5% and you need a CMAC. It can calculate that information for you. They can also calculate your land transfer tax and also mortgage payment. So best thing is to know it, collect this information. So by doing this, you are already prepared. So who is the best person who can really help you? That means know your options. That's the next step. Know your option. Don't hire a first-time real estate professional that you meet. You need to interview realtors to learn about their knowledge, their experience, and their special skill set. For example, there are approximately 94,000 realtors in Ontario, and there are less than 300 FRIs, Fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, and Certified Real Estate Specialist. I am one of them. So I have experience, knowledge, and credentials to support. So you should interview me, and you should interview other realtors who are recommended by other friends and people. So you choose the best professional who is equipped to help you. So just don't pick up the phone and just select someone. Give opportunity to qualified professionals to help you. And once you hire someone who is experienced, knowledgeable, has a special skill set, they can help you to navigate through the process, help you negotiate aggressively, and, and make your life easy. We just have recently completed a transaction for a first-time home buyer, and we received remarkable endorsement from them, and they are promoting me and my brokerage and employee my team to help the new buyers. And this is why it prompted me to do this first-time home buying tips for you. So it's very, very important, because first week or 10 days of your time working with us, you will be educated about the process. You get the mortgage. You will have disappointment because you are a first-time buyer. You're going to have a learning curve. Somebody outbid you, and you are going to have a difficulty. So it's very, very important to have someone, because we mentor, we educate, and this Realty Coffee Talk is about increasing awareness and educating consumer, so they build the confidence and trust in real estate. So that's why it's very, very important that when you are hiring a realtor, just don't hire it based on whoever comes first. You going to make one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. So you need to hire someone very qualified and experienced and knowledgeable who can help you on this. So when you are dealing with the realtors, for example, and sometimes the realtors say give you rebates in sale or buying, whatever thing. So I always recommend, when you have a discussion with your realtor, please, when you are signing a BRA, it's called buyer representation agreement, please put in your condition, what you want to buy, where you want to buy, and we're going to tell you how to search the information. This is a part and parcel with how the real estate professional will help you. So when you talk about professional services, put in writing the time frame, the expectation that you have. If there is any incentive or rebate that is being offered to you, sometimes we give charity $1,000 or $500, then it has to be stated in the BRA in order for the brokerage to disburse that money. So have it in writing. Everything that you do must be in writing. And I tell you, when you hire a real estate professional and you're a first-time buyer, it helps you to understand that the real estate professionals are educated, trained, they are being monitored, regulated in the province of Ontario. They have a wealth of knowledge and experience. Therefore, they will connect you with the lenders, they connect you with the lawyers, with the building inspector, home inspector, or environmental assessment, septic tank, any report you need. They know plumbers, they know painters, they know electricians, they know renovators, home improvement people. They will connect you to the right people who have done a similar work that you need. So you would need a lawyer to close your deal. So why don't you connect with your realtor? He will provide you all the network, and it will benefit you. So if you have to decide when you are arranging your funding and financing, and who is going to provide you the mortgage. So best thing is to work with the bank that you already have account with, because you have built your credentials, you have saved some money, there is a reputation, and they have your good credit report, and I recommend that you work with the bank that you are currently banking, because they can give you a good deal. So, but if you need some help, then your realtor can also recommend a mortgage broker. I'm a principal broker and owner of Canada Express Mortgage Inc., license number 13241. I arrange mortgages when it's necessary to help, commercial or residential, whenever is needed. So any commitment that you made with a realtor to help you, make sure is in writing. Sign a BRA, because when you are creating, if you are expecting someone to provide you professional services, then it's very important for you to make commitment, be Be loyal to that commitment with your realtor, so because he needs to be paid. Remember, real estate agent or broker don't get paid until the transaction is complete. Sometimes it takes 6 months to be paid, but the expenses are being carried by realtors for insurance, auto, licensing, training, and all the travel expenses, food sometimes, this is all paid by realtors, and they don't get paid. Like lawyers, if you go sign with them, they will ask you to give a retainer. We can't claim that. Our services are delivered, and then when deal closes, we get paid. So, but having a commitment, signed BRA, buyer representation agreement, it gives confidence to the realtor that you are not going anywhere. You're not hunting people. You have chosen a realtor, a real estate professional that you want to work with. After that, you don't need to spend more time and trying to breach the agreement you already signed. So therefore, because BRA are normally registered on Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, where they specify who is the buyer, and they have signed a BRA for a certain specific period of time in a location or geographic location where they are. So this is very, very important for you to make sure that you are agreeing to it. Now, this is very important, is when you are agreeing to it, there are understanding agreement and contracts. You will be signing a contract or agreement. So before you sign a buyer representation agreement, you have to talk to your realtor to explain you BRA. Buyer representation on behalf of the brokerage, they are delivering services, they have certain obligation. It is a form which is prepared by Ontario Real Estate Association and used by all organized real estate who are a member of UREA. And we all use that. And also make sure that what you say, what you mean. I mean, that means whatever you are agreeing in the BRA, a time frame, when agreement to commence, who are the parties, when to terminate, and who pays for the services. Normal cases, the commission in this real estate field normally is paid by the seller or the listing brokerage if they're cooperating with a cooperating broker. But remember that is in the BRA, it says very clearly, if we don't collect the money from the seller or listing agent, you will be a buyer using the services of a realtor or the brokerage will be paying for it. So don't be surprised about it. Don't expect anyone to work for you for 2-3 months and get free and not to be paid. This is a very clear statement in the buyer representation agreement that in the event the seller or the listing broker does not pay to the buyer broker, you will be paying for that. And more importantly is what is the duration of the BRA? For example, if you want to try one broker or brokerage for a period of 30 days and you give them a location, let's say in Meadowvale. So that brokerage is working in Meadowvale. Let's say you sign with me for Mineola or Port Credit. So you can simultaneously work for 2 different locations because your BRA is specific to a geographic location. You can have a multiple, but make sure you don't cross the boundary and you only use real estate boundaries, territories specified in our community on the MLS system. You can see that. So this is why. And you must understand the different clauses in there. So most importantly is a referral clause, where when you sign an agreement with a brokerage, and anytime you see a property on MLS or through any source, you need to refer to your brokerage who is representing you as a buyer agent. This is why it's very, very important to know these clauses. So, and also understanding the representation, then if you are signing a BRA, that you are a client of the brokerage and you're the principal, and the brokerage is the agent, they're going to make sure they fulfill their obligation, what is outlined in the BRA. So there is another episode about the BRA. You can visit realtycoffeetalk.com and subscribe my YouTube channel. You can download and watch the video about BRA. It's very detailed. And also questions. When you are signing an agreement with a realtor, please ask questions before you sign it, line by line. Because there are so many clauses. It talks about who are the parties, what is the duration, when it's going to expire. It has a definition, and what buyer is supposed to be doing is cooperating, making a referral to the brokerage when they're buying or they see some other property. They need to make sure if there's a different jurisdiction, they need to amend their BRA to include the jurisdiction so you can get paid. Sometimes also there's a clause about referral fees. If a agent sent you a reference to a mortgage, and then mortgage get secured through you, and mortgage has been used, recommended by the realtor, then the brokerage will receive a referral fee which comes to the brokerage, and there is a URIA and TREV form, disclosure of benefits. So because realtor is getting a benefit, so they have to disclose that to the buyer to make sure they know that they are being paid the fee. And also, I highly recommend, if you are a new first time, you have hired a team of professionals, that you should get a legal advice, because you're going to need a lawyer to close the deal. At the end of the day, when realtor will negotiate agreement, they will ask you to give me a lawyer's name. Recently, we did a transaction for a first-time home buyer. You won't be surprised that this, I think I mentioned last episode, this lawyer, young fellow, did 5 status certificate reviewed at midnight, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. What a dedication this professional has. And finally, we bought it, a house for our client. So if you're going to hire a realtor, you're going to pay a lawyer, you're going to pay a fee. Why don't you engage him from the beginning? So get him review your BRA, or your listing agent, you can also have them review it. Then when you make an offer, or you're making an offer, if you have a special condition, talk to your realtor to make sure he or she will consult with your lawyer and add those special conditions if you have such a situation. So this is why it's very, very important to have a lawyer on your team as early as possible. Now, the third one is, fourth one, we already talked about it, recognize and understand your budget. This is very, very important. Budget is the most important steps, because budget, when you are talking to a lender and looking at affordability, you already have a threshold. You establish a ceiling by securing a mortgage or pre-approval from there. If you are paying less than 20%, you will be seeking CMHC approval, because it's a high-risk insurance requirement, because you are putting less than 20%. Those rates are different. And normally the bank will put that amount, the fee that is being charged by CMHC, put into the mortgage. So that way it blends in, and it's a very small amount, even though the bank will be paying them directly the full amount. So you have a price. One is your price, that you know what the budget is, you're going to be buying it. Then is down payment. You have to make sure you have a down payment. Down payment is the amount that you will be contributing from your side to purchase a property. So this includes any amount that you have. If you borrow or you get a gift from the family, you need to have a declaration from your family. This is a gift. It's not refundable. If there is it needs to be borrowed money, then it be use your total
gross income, or that total debt service. So gross income or total gross income or total debt service that you have. So this is going to be handy because if you more borrow the money, you will get less qualified as you declare information on your application. So obviously, if you are less than 20%, you're going to have to consider for premium that you have to pay to CMHC. Closing cost. Closing stock is a very significant amount. Based on my calculation, if you're not dealing with in Toronto, out of Toronto, you're looking at 2% of the purchase value as a closing cost in addition to the down payment that you have to pay. Closing cost 2% will cover title insurance, registration of title, mortgage charge, miscellaneous fee, lawyer fee, and title insurance, thing like that. So, but I highly recommend that when you hire a lawyer, and you negotiate a fee, and you ask them to give you a cost proposal based on what is the worth of the property. If it's less than $1 million, you can looking at about $1,000 to $1,500. Depends on the type of transaction that you need the court. So 2% will cover everything: land transfer fee, title insurance, mortgage charge, and charge against the property for the title, transfer of title, and miscellaneous cost, the lawyer charge. They add up money, and approximately 2%. So legal fee, an average case, I would say $1,500 to $1,500 to $2,000 for less than $1 million per transaction. Similarly, you go to city-pro.net and check on the land transfer tax. You can calculate that by visiting citypro.net and go buying or selling. Click on the calculator, and you can click there and plug in information. And also, when you are creating your budget, you can go to my website, again, same way, buying or selling, go to the calculator, and you can create your budget, how much you need that. This is very, very important. And also, you will be paying for a home inspection. Home inspection when you are conducting a home inspection. Also, you will be paying for appraisal fee through your lender. Some lender will not ask you, but majority of them will ask you to pay directly to the appraiser guy, and then you will be charged. So depending on the size and value of the property, $350 to $1,000 could be a cost. So you have to look into that. And most importantly also is your moving expenses. So when you have got the closing cost, you got the down payment, now you have to pay the moving cost because you need to hire a truck. And it can become challenging if you're buying and selling the same time. Sometimes delay on selling will cause you problem with the buying that you have. So have a contingency plan. Try to close early your property 1 or 2 days. Stay in a hotel, rent a place 1 or 2 days, and then close the other one. So therefore, they are not linked with each other. This happened to us last year with one client that it didn't close because bank took a long time to close their sale, so they could not close the buy. That's why it's challenging. So be careful. Do you watch that? Also, you must have a contingency fund. This is very, very important to have a contingency fund. So you are able to cover expenses. That's happened. You move into the property, you use the old machine, washer, dryer, or cooktop, or oven. The day you get in, next day it quits on you. You need the money to replace or repair it. It's better to replace it with a newer one, because if it's been 5 or 7 years old, it's an old one. You might want to get more efficient one. So then you got your budget, you got your team, you got a lawyer, you got inspector, everybody. So before you do anything, you need to protect yourself. This is very important. When you are making an offer, always make a conditional offer. Reason I'm saying you is that in this COVID season, in the last few months, we have seen people giving a firm offer and they are not delivering the deposit.
it reflects very poorly on the buyer representative not to arrange a deposit. And then what will happen if the deal did not go through and they did not give deposit and seller end up selling for less? They can sue you if they want to. So this is why it also, somebody can complain to real estate counsel, competency, dishonesty, because you are supposed to check these things to make sure that your client is pre-qualified and they are able to fulfill their obligation when they're signing an offer, and that offer has been accepted. Especially when we have a shorter supply, we have multiple offer. The best guy gives the price, and then he doesn't give you a deposit. It creates an environment of litigation, and then consequences will be. So there is a professional consequences if the seller complains to Real Estate Counsel of Ontario. That what kind of realtor is that who arrange a buyer to put an offer? I got so many offers, now I'm losing $5, $10, $20, $30,000. So he complains against the brokerage and also the agent who did not deliver a deposit. So that means he or she did not do her due diligence about the pre-qualifying the person, and whatever reason that they walked away from the deal. So there are consequences. Be careful about it. Also, protect your mortgage financing and appraisal. When sometime you put an offer on it, if the appraised value of the property is not consistent with the purchase price that you did, there is going to be difference. The bank will not give you more money what you negotiated agreement of purchase sale, but they give you the appraised value. If let's say there is a $50,000 difference, so you have to have a contingency funds. If appraisal comes lower than what has been negotiated, that means the buyer has to pay from his and her pocket. So this is why it's very, very important that you have contingency fund. You're watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. We're going to take a short break and we'll come back and continue to have a conversation for first-time home buying tips. Thank you.
पूरे ओंटारियो में लाखों लोग अपनी कोविड-19 की वैक्सीन हासिल कर चुके हैं। हेल्थ कनाडा की मंजूरशुदा तमाम वैक्सीन्स महफूज और अस्पतालों, डॉक्टर्स के दफातर, फार्मेसीज और अवामी वैक्सीनेशन के मुकामात पर हासिल हैं। अपना किरदार अदा करें, अपनी वैक्सीन हासिल करें। 300 जुबानों में मदद के लिए ontario.ca/book वैक्सीन पर जाएं या 1-888-999-6488 पर कॉल करें।
2020 का लाजवाब ऑफर, जहां हम 0% फाइनेंसिंग पर आपकी मनपसंद कार दे रहे हैं, फ्री विंटर टायर्स, और साथ ही हम मुफ्त ऑयल चेंज भी दे रहे हैं, वो भी उम्र भर के लिए। अभी आएं और इस लाजवाब ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। जल्दी करें, आपका खुशामदीद हमारे आउटलेट में, जो कि 60 क्वींस प्लेट ड्राइव एट इंटरसेक्शन क्लोज टू हाईवे 27 एंड रेक्सडेल अपोजिट टू वुडबाइन रेस ट्रैक। जल्द से जल्द इस ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। आज ही कॉल करें सुनील अग्रवाल को 647-703-0218। आपकी रिहाइश ऐसी हो जहां जिंदगी की सहूलत मयसर हो, जो आपको बुलंदियों पर ले जाए, तो मिलिए रियल एस्टेट मार्केट के एक्सपीरियंस्ड रियल एस्टेट प्रोफेशनल अमित ओबेरॉय से। GTA में रियल एस्टेट मार्केट के हर अंदाज से वाकिफ। आपको घर खरीदना हो, बेचना हो या करना हो मुनाफे का इन्वेस्टमेंट, मेरे तजुर्बे से आज ही फायदा उठाएं। आज ही कॉल करें अमित ओबेरॉय 647-291-8102। अमित ओबेरॉय, ब्यूटीफुल होम्स यू कैन अफोर्ड।
डिक्सी और एग्लिंटन के इंटरसेक्शन पे तशरीफ लाइए ज़ौक़ रेस्टोरेंट। जायकेदार लजीज खानों का मरकज, पाकिस्तानी, इंडियन और हक्का चाइनीज। आप हमसे लाइव बारबेक्यू और कैटरिंग के लिए राब्ता कर सकते हैं। राब्ते के लिए हमारा नंबर 905-625-7786।
ज़ौक़ रेस्टोरेंट, ज़ौक़ वालों के लिए। KK Travel believe in providing everyone the first-class customer service. We take care not only for your air ticket, but dignity and respect as well. We are available for you anytime on WhatsApp, even while you are in Pakistan or any other destination. KK Travels guarantee lowest prices and are open to price match any airline.
We are KK Travels under supervision of Gas Khan at 905-367-9433 or visit www.gaskhontravels.com.
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. We are talking about first-time home buying tips. When you are going through this process, you want to know where you want to live, where you want to buy a property. Do you like urban, suburban, smaller towns, cities and towns, or rural area? This is where you pick and choose which type of property you want. If you buy a condominium, last episode I mentioned about condominium, condo has fees. You have to be considering when you're creating your budget, you have to make sure you're allocating the maintenance per month extra. Because of maintenance fee, your threshold buying may come down. Also, some condos or townhomes are freeholds. Some towns are freehold with a parcel of tied land is called POTL. Or you have a condo townhome or condo apartment. There are fees involved with that, so it's very, very important for you to know what you can buy, or you can buy a detached home. Based on the prices have gone up, so I'm expecting the smaller family or first-time home buyer are buying the condo apartment in the first. And you need to find out where you are. Sometimes you want to buy a property out of main GTA, but you have to consider the cost of transportation. Either you're using your GO train or GO bus, or also travel time, or you are using a transit. The transit going and you need to buy and consider the cost of tickets that you buy to travel to work in Toronto if you're living in Toronto. So these are costs. If you look at if you're driving a car, it's going to cost you, how much it's going to cost you? $10,000, $15,000 to maintain a car with the insurance, gasoline, and kilometers. If you're self-employed, you may have the opportunity to write off that kilometers and expensive for the car. But if you're an employee, you won't be able to get that write-off because you're not a self-employed. So this is why it's very, very important to find out this, where you want to buy, where you want to live, where you want to work. Because if you are buying a little bit away, you're spending gas, car maintenance and all that. It adds up over a period of a month or a year. And if you plan to stay for 5 years, you can multiply that time 5, how long you plan to stay in a place. But right now, because of affordability issue, majority of the people are buying now condo, townhome, first-time home buyer, or condo, townhome, or condo apartment. This is where threshold is. Recently, the condominium, even a less than 1,500 square feet or 15 to 2,000 square feet is gone $960 to almost $1 million, depending on the condition of the condominium. So it really is gone up. So affordability is a big issue. So basically, you're probably going to be buying a condominium condo apartment. So now, when you are buying a house, for example, where people do have money brought in from overseas, they're new, they have the money to pay, and they don't want a mortgage, or they already have a 20%, they get mortgage. So what is inside the wall? This is very, very critical, because we look at the age of a house, and we have to look at the system that house has, and then we see whether this property has been upgraded or not. And sometimes you have fungus behind the wall because of moisture penetration through the foundation wall, because the moisture barrier outside the wall is not there or broken, so it's leaking inside, and you have finished basement and you don't get to see that. Therefore, you have an inspector, he has a meter, he can check it out if there is a moisture. If you go to Canadian Tire, there is a reader, you can use that to figure out where there is a moisture. It will show you there is a moisture there. But that is why we need the inspector. They have thermal cameras, and you can have a thermal camera to look into the wall. It will tell you what is behind the wall, and if there is a moisture penetration, it will show like a blue screen. If people are familiar with the flyer, the cameras, I have one of those, and I check those things just to be sure about it, because I felt some walls are kind of wet, feel kind of not so dry. And then you ask the inspector to come and check those things for you to make sure there is no more leakage, because the basement wall is already finished. So this is why it's very important. The other thing is you have a plumbing and electrical wires behind it. Okay? So this is, you don't get to see them. And that's why you need the inspector to check it out to make sure there is no leakage, and also electrical, all sockets, everything is working. And also, you need to find out if the basement is finished, make sure it is done with a permit. City has bylaws. They have to spend, I think the cost is not too much for the permit, maybe $500. But get the permit, get it approved. They're going to inspect it to make sure that you are now, cities are very cooperating for second dwelling. So if you want to build a basement, make sure that you already have a permit. And also always use home inspector to examine, and do not hesitate to ask home inspector. Home inspector is supposed to be independent from the realtor who is representing you. We gave you name of three minimum inspector. You pick and choose. You negotiate the fee, whatever you want. And then you independently, the realtor will come and open the door and give you full freedom to walk through with the inspector and check out everything, so you are independently seeing the condition of the property. Make sure the appliances are working, plumbing is working, the electricity or switches are working, or if there is a small maintenance required, you are able to negotiate a deal, or if they are negligible, you may ignore it. But the report will identify all the leakage about the roof, any leakage, condition of the appliances. Those are chattel, they're parts of it. So they give you visual inspection. So paying a little bit more, hiring a qualified inspector is the highly recommended. That person who has infrared cameras, and they have tools, and they can check on moisture. What would happen if somebody built something, grow house, and they remove everything and they put a nice wall and you can't see it because it's already done. But there could be some moisture there. That's why inspection is very, very important. Now, when you are dealing with the realtors or you are dealing with your offer, be specific. This is very, very important. I hear a lot of complaint from people. My broker called me the other day. He says, okay, we are trying to sell the property. Seller wants to sell the property. He bought it. On MLS, it says the dishwasher is installed, but there is no dishwasher. There is no connection there. So I told him only thing is that you have to get them to install it, one, if they want to sell it, or leave it and sell it and we declare there is no dishwasher. So obviously it's a very essential part of our life. Very busy life, dishwasher is very critical. So he or she is going to put the property in the market, and he's going to say that either with or without. It has to be disclosed to the buyer. And most important thing is that when you are buying a property first time, to make sure appliances are specified in a chattel or in a Schedule A. And light fixtures, chandeliers. I have seen that during one time transaction, one of the seller took out the mirror, installed mirror from the bathroom. It was only $50 or $60 from the Home Depot. So I told him that you can't take it down. And he brought it back, and then my client needed to rent the property, so he already bought a mirror and then we give it back to him because his wife liked it, and they were both realtors. And this is how they do it. Be careful not to remove anything which is fixed to the property unless you disclose it and exclude them in your MLS system. Also, it's very, very important for the seller to disclose what renovation has been done to the property. So, because it's possible that they discover some problems, and also home inspection may recommend some improvement in the property. If the circuit breaker is not there or some piping is not right, water piping, they will recommend you, or wiring is no good. I think these are the recommendations. Or roof shingles are falling apart, recommend that they need to be replaced or replaced. Or there is any water leakage that needs to be fixed. Those are the observation of the inspector. It's a good idea that you hire an inspector that has a professional license as an engineer. That would be a great help to you if you're a first-time home buyer and you want to spend some money. So the other important thing is, you already talked about that, is be specific. You have to be very, very specific in the offer. Anything, condition that you want to verify it, it must be inside the agreement to be implemented. And you need to plan ahead. This is very, very important for you to plan ahead. If you counter a bidding war, this is what is going on right now. Enter with a strategy. You sit down and talk. Recently, we were working with a first-time home buyer. From the time that we took several offers, but they were taught through the process that what is happening. They were making the offer. We gave them suggestions. They opted certain level, and the time they decided to put a right offer, they got the property. So, do a strategy between realtor, will tell you what to do. Please pay attention to his recommendation and use that strategy. And buyer also, we are part of a team. Buyer and realtor are part of the team. We want to have a winning strategy. If you have multi-year bidding war, you need to calculate. As you can see, majority of the listing I have observed most recently, less than $1 million, people have underlisted. It's not a good practice. It doesn't reflect very good when you have one sale and you have 29 disappointed buyers because you listed lower than what was sold a week ago or 2 days ago. If something is sold for $900,000, why would you list $699? Tell me. This is why it's very, very important to calculate a right value and put the right price. You got 29 offer, only one guy. He may give you only $50 more than what was sold for $900. But you can claim, I listed for $700,000, I sold for $905. But is this real? You shouldn't be doing it. You should suggest and recommend seller, this is a realistic price, and then listen to what the seller tell you. It's a strategy. There's nothing illegal about it. Real estate counsel have seen so many cases and complaints from people, but they say no, it's legal. It's freedom of the seller to choose and pick the price and marketing strategy. So this is very important. Set ground rules in advance what you want from a home. So you need to set your rules. This is what I want from this house. This is what I'm going to pay. This is going to cost me to improve or renovate. This is my budget. I'm staying to it. You are willing to spend when the condition must be met. And you also, you want to spend some money. Like I said, you buy a house, you say you're going to buy for $900,000, you're going to spend $50,000, you're going to spend $2,500, 2% on closing costs, and you want to interchange your hardware, change appliances, things like that. You have the budget. Have that strategy put together as a figure. And once you have rules are set, stick to it. So when you develop a strategy with your client as a realtor and also buyer with the realtor, then stick to it. Don't change your strategy. Otherwise, you will overpay, and when your appraisal comes from the bank is going to be lower than what you paid, they won't get you. And you have no extra money to pay the difference that you may have given a firm offer. That's why I recommend that you have a conditional offer. Use common sense. If it's not true, don't do it. Use common sense. If it doesn't make any sense to pay a certain amount value of the property, don't do it. Don't do it. This is why it's going to cause you problems later on. Expect the unexpected. This is the last tip. Closing date alignment if necessary. If you are buying and selling, make sure you align the date. Have a contingency plan in place in case dates don't match up. Let's say you have a house, you're selling and you're buying another one, and they don't match up. Make sure you have a contingency plan for that. And hire an FRI, Fellow Real Estate of Canada, or a realtor. We are both realtors and FRIs. There are over 90,000, I said, realtors in Ontario, and there are less than 300,000 FRI in Ontario. So this is why it's very, very important for you to hire the most qualified real estate professional that you can get, because you're a first-time buyer. You need to learn a lot about the process, the planning, building a team, execution, arranging funding through mortgage, home inspection, lawyers. Your key player is a real estate professional who can help you make a buying decision. You can go to realtycoffeetalk.com and you can watch various programs that I broadcast on Awaz Entertainment. I hope that this was any help to you. If you have any question, please feel free to call me 416-451-3489 or visit city-pro.net and you can send me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. If you are a builder, if you're a renovator, if you are a lawyer, if you're a real estate agent, you're a mortgage agent, plumber, electrician, involved with real estate, you can advertise on Awaz Entertainment. Ms. Jabeen will give you a very special deal to advertise on Awaz Entertainment 10 times a day for 30 days for $500. You have to bring your own video. Please call 647-484-0018 and ask for Ms. Jabeen, and she tell her that you are a viewer of Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment. I take this opportunity to thank everyone to watching our program. Our program is broadcast every Thursday at 7 p.m. And I take this opportunity to thank all our armed forces, medical staff, doctors, nurses, security staff, police, Peel Region Police, RCMP, CSIS, putting their life on line to protect us. Now we are opening up the market because of new rules coming from the Ontario government. So may God bless you all. May God bless Canada. See you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Bye for now.